Hello, welcome to Conscious Creators. I'm Carolina. I never introduced myself, so I'm gonna do it this time. I'm Carolina, and I'm basically a channel through soul connection, through the heart center, with guidance of your soul's path, and sharing the stages of it and the downloads or messages, energy of connection. And there's also healing in it and all this. There were a few things coming on last days, but actually I also had to withdraw a little bit last days because has been overwhelming in my own life, with this transitioning and things I recently been sharing, which is like dissolving the identity and parts of your identity very strongly. It's been present in what I could see was connected with the mental body. I had discussions with a couple of people that felt the same, that there were still some beliefs and concepts that were playing at the background, and it was really time to notice them and be like, this is not true anymore. This is not true, and I don't need to repeat that record playing, that tape playing at the back. And with that, in the last days, I had also conversations, because this is a really important reminder, and there are two things. One, that if you are being stripped away, literally, like you're feeling you got hits from life, and this year there was a lot of it, depending where you are in your journey, which stage you are at. But when there are like a lot of hits, a lot of like slaps, it kind of felt like it. It's very easy to like forget and spiral and like stop and forget seeing it, that this is a good thing, that there was so many things being like ripped off like an onion, layers to the bone. But it's a process. It's a good process. It's a process of dissolving, and a lot of like endings, deaths, grieving, changes, collapses, if things not working, things delaying, and all this stuff. And it's very easy to forget, and that if something is one of those things, dying, dissolving, leaving, etc., that this is, and even though it seems like another hit, like another slap from life, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's not only for your highest good, but it's also just the sign that this is not meant to be like that, or not meant to be continuing, or you're not meant to hold it in your space anymore, or this is not really the best way of solution, or things moving forward for you. And the second part of that was that when these programs and things are clearing, and it brings a lot of the programs and emotions and this energies on the surface, which oftentimes are like difficult, like fear, surviving, and all this, or grieving, and all this stuff. And yeah, it's like death of kind of parts of you that you held in your space as part of you, which maybe never been part of you, but in some way your mind, your ego, however you call it, perceived it. So it's kind of deep process, and that can bring fear. And a lot of noise. I was looking into the noise in the mental, how it's picking up. And I had this conversation about how mind can generate so much stuff that we continue believing that is big. There's this mind, and I have to kind of control it, and it takes me away. And I definitely had a lot of labels and narrations around that. And yesterday, basically, I my soul, my in my soul showed me, as I asked a few things, showed me how to go through it, not to be sinking into the mind, and also had a conversation how it's the mind that brings that fear and all that. It's not only, it's, I think it's more complex. There's a lot of stuff that are recorded in your energy field, and in the body you have like all this emotional energy, physical, energetic body, as part of your human here. So it can be in different layers, and it's definitely for sure some stuff in your physical body, and the mind is kind of like this receptor of that, and it can be looped as well. Sorry, it can be looped in that as well. So my soul showed me that way through it is to yesterday, to realize and get back to your power. That means stop believing that mind is bigger than you, or in fact, any of those aspects, like emotions also, that this is bigger of you, that can be overwhelming, or this can be directing or leading your life. So, like to switch literally or plugged out that belief that because it was maybe difficult, or maybe you never knew how to deal with that, which I did not. I wasn't taught. I didn't know how to cope, and I didn't know how to connect in the past. But to come back to this, to the connection, and to realizing you are greater than this. This is just like one of the layers of decoding and experiencing this reality. But this is not your being ultimately. So this is like claiming, um, claiming back, or just deciding that this is not bigger than you, and going back to your connection and start to observe it from another angle, the kind of like changing the perspective of it, allowing sometimes, as I when I work with things, I sometimes imagine like, or even stepping back to open up for something to receive, or I imagine in this case I would kind of connect with and imagine, or physically connecting with that I push things like away of me, and I start to connect with myself in the center, and imagine like, okay, this noise, this thoughts, this things is kind of like outside, um, and imagining like it's outside, and more going into the center or into the physical body, touching the heart space, piercing through it also with um, decision and intention, and navigating through it, basically snapping out, and deciding, now I connect with that. Yeah, as much as it's part of our belief that this is how we are, or this is bigger than us, or this is how it is, that's it. As much as you basically hold that belief, as much as it can play. uh, so whatever you can do at the current moment to snap out of that believing that this is ongoing, this won't stop, this is bigger than you, uh, is the way to basically go back to the center of really who you are. Um, yeah, I'm thinking still about the fear, like talking with one person. There's another aspect, like, yeah, well, that's ultimately this is the ultimately the way, but this is not the way to, like, for example, if you're in the emotions, to like feeling deep emotion, whatever that is, including fear. This is not to be like um, ignoring it, or dissociating from feeling it, or pretending that it's not there and like pushing it away. It's more energetically to center in your being, to be able to see it, and also like make space for it, but not in a sense of dissociating, or maybe like how do you say it, bringing some I forgot the word, um, which happens when I'm deeply connected or operating with in few languages, um, like overwriting with like repeating, not feeling what it is, but repeating and saying to yourself, "This is not how it is." It's there are two things. One is to feel what you feel, and the other is also to navigating that. Is to maybe meeting it in the body, because maybe you are in the moment on chapter that there is something that wants to come through. So for that one is also time and space and tools and going to the body and all this stuff. So also not to forget about it. I more mean about this shift in the identity and this shift in your mental body, and shift towards I to your own power, the bigger you, that you start to more navigate the states where that you are at, and going into the process when you need into go into the process. And I've been um, it's kind of a journey in the sense that um, I've been kind of recovering, and I think a lot of people in the spaces of development or spirituality or these kind of spaces, to be stuck in going back into, for example, not coming back in remembering of your power, and you are navigating also the energy, also the energy. And energy is all of those bodies is made of energy ultimately. So you can navigate that process. And I think that's the step that people maybe don't go to, but they get stuck into following and listening to somebody else's tools, or somebody else is doing the job for them. But there's also another aspect of that, which is getting stuck into the processes, which I was kind of recovering from, being going back into the processes and into this past energy, which I've already done a lot of work. So it really, and a lot of meeting those parts and integrating them. So it's really depending where you are in your journey, like what stage you're at. I'm saying this because I don't want you to be like, oh yeah, now like I click out of it and I like move away, or I remember I have power so I can like skedaddle and not face the fear. Um, but still, you can face the fear, or you can feel the fear from empowered place. In my experience, um, basically the soul is guiding you through this process. So if you're like worried, I don't know why this comes through right now, but if you're worried that you have to all the time also control this process, or find the people to help you, or do something, I just want to tell you that your soul through life, you can say life, but your soul through life is navigating this process, and your guides as well, parts of your soul, um, is navigating through. So it brings you sometimes to the places you might maybe not necessarily expected, or maybe not necessarily wanted to meet, but everything still falls into place in the right timing. And if you, so also when you are open, or you ask yourself, uh, well, you always like can set intention to meet or have help from somebody as well. uh, I'm looking at the back. This is how I'm also picking up what comes through. Kind of, I'm tuning in, not to also be in the mind space, but more tune deeper. Come back to this deeper connection, and not over. Also talk it, not over talk it. Just go back to the heart. Go back to the heart. There is the center of you as well. That is your navigation center. I just felt this kind of heart space opening. And this kind of grounding deeper into your physical body. And in my case, I can tell you from my journey that it's been years and years that I can see now sometimes what was before happening that was preparing me for now, and what I could handle then, and meet parts of myself and those aspects and those energies I was talking about. That I can meet it as well still now, if there's still some parts of those energies or collapsing identities, and then causing also again to worry or fear, or dealing with like learning even more to be out of control and uncertainty, and things are not like just this is how it is done. It's unknown all the time, and facing it from another layer, another space, another layer of connection. And I can definitely see that the wisdom of the path, but also how it was like dissolving at parts, so that with time you can have more space capacity, and you start to feel those aspects from a different point of view, or from a different as layer of or level of connection. Yeah, and it's also losing its grip. It's losing its grip, and it's shifting. And sometimes it's then one thing, and then it shifts completely. And sometimes there are themes in life, or also there are themes in this world, in the structure of this world, in energy of this planet. It's in the field, in the collective consciousness, that are still present. So these are big changes that are happening over a longer period of time. I think that's it. I think that the message for today, or these days, or the day you meet or see this video, is that if you have any questions, you can drop comment, you can contact through, I created Conscious Creators Worldwide Instagram as well, which is just a starting account. We'll see how much I will also be there, but also for Telegram, or comments underneath. And links to the work with me are below in description or comment. And thank you so much for the likes, shares. If you can share it, if you think somebody needs it right now and will benefit or needs to connect with this at the moment, share it. Thank you so much for likes. It means a lot to me. And thank you for being here and for subscribing. If you feel like this rings a bell, I invite you to subscribe. Okay, thank you so much. See you in the next one.